Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best centers in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 9,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with Brook Lopez, who is pretty mid. We only got like 17 or 18 centers on this list. It's the best of the best, so got to be pretty picky with where I put these guys. If there's any centers that aren't on this list that you'd like to hear my thoughts on as well, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know about that in the comment section down below. But I think Brook Lopez is probably one of the 2 or 3 or 4 worst centers on this list. So to be completely honest, I feel like I got to put him down near the bottom. He's very slow, which is his biggest flaw. Doesn't have ridiculous size. 7 foot is good, but at only 70 speed, you'd like him to be closer to like 7'3" if he's going to have that type of speed. Shooting badges are decent, but he doesn't get limitless range. His release isn't good. He's a good interior player, and honestly, these are the best of the best. These are the best 17 centers or so in the game probably, but or at least close to that. So it's not a bad list, but with that being said, I don't think Brook Lopez is higher than D tier on this list. David Robinson, I believe, is the second best center in my team right now. He goes S tier pretty easily. Amazing release, 7'1", good player build, good defender, very good rebounder, just a very, very good all-around card with a very good release who can shoot the 3 at a super high level as well. He gives you the interior ability of similar to guys like Kareem and Shaq without the inability to shoot. Kareem can kind of shoot, but D-Rob is a very, very good shooter, and that helps him out a lot and puts him as an S tier guy for me. DeMarcus Cousins has my MJ dribble style, which is nice, and that is like the one thing that he has that a lot of these guys don't have is playmaking, and he's got pretty decent stats, but he's not a great defender. Gold anchor's fine, but it's not great. Like, you'd rather have Hoff at this point. MJ dribble style, SIGs are okay. Release is kind of mediocre though. He's not bad. I think he's above D tier, but I don't think he's a great card by any means. Dwight's gonna go B tier. Tiny bit undersized, very good defender, good speed, good shooter, mediocre release. I think he's good. I don't think he's next level great. He's borderline A tier. There's a chance I might move him up, but I think Dwight is kind of mid, to be honest, so I think B tier is probably fair. George Mikan is similar to Dwight in all honesty. Not quite as athletic as a Dwight, and not quite as good of a defender, but his defensive badges are still really, really good. And he's got a bunch of interior badges as well. No limitless range, but he does have a better release than Dwight. So Dwight has the limitless range, but George has the better release. Playmaking wise, like I said, Dwight is a little quicker, but their dunking is very similar, to be completely honest. Once you add quick first step to Mikan, he's going to be able to create his own shot just a tiny bit. Not good 6, but with solid all-around gold playmaking badges. So they're very similar cards. I think they both go A or B. I just haven't decided which tier I'm going to pick for them yet, but for now, we're going to go a B tier for both of those guys. Going to put Hakeem in A because he has Hoff anchor. He's 7 foot. He's got a very good player build. He can knock down his shots. He's got the player build that helps him compete with guys like D-Rob, Shaq, Kareem, etc. Those 7 foot and up centers better than George Mikan and Dwight do, which I think matters a lot at center. He's not going to get mashed nearly as much, and he can still knock down the 3 at a super high level. He's still very athletic. He's even got like pro dribble style, so he can kind of dribble as well. So pretty good card. I like Hakeem Olajuwon a lot. Going to go Embiid in the D tier. I think that's the fairest spot for him, to be completely honest, because his release is very mediocre. His stats and badges are nothing special. He was a very solid free card for his time, but at this point, he's just not that great. With a very mediocre release, slow, poor perimeter defensive ability. Hoff anchor, post lockdown are nice, but he kind of doesn't have elite badges in any specific area, so I think D tier is fair for him. Kareem's going to be our second S tier of the video. We're going to throw him up there because of his size, his player build, 7'2" with an afro that makes him look closer to 7'3". Elite interior ability on both ends of the court, 88 speed, can knock down an open shot, especially with a shoe and a catch and shoot badge added to him. But he's a really good card. Like myself, Kareem, a ton, and I think he's definitely an S tier big. Now, going to put KP in the A tier alongside Hakeem. I just think that's the fairest spot for both of them. KP is 7'3" with a money release and Hoff limitless range, which is super nice. But he doesn't have the anchor badge at all, but he's still 7'3", so that height is really valuable. It makes him compete on the defensive end way better than he would if he was 6'11" with the same defensive stats and badges. Also only has 74 speed, but again, at 7'3", that's really, really good. So KP, because of his size, it kind of helps make up for the other inadequacies that he has, and then he's got a good release, and he's an elite shooter, so I think KP is going to go A tier for me. Now, Yao Ming, we have an extra tier, and it's the Yao Ming, the Yao Ming tier. He is in a tier of his own, and it's not close. I mean, we have to have an extra tier for Yao because he is that good. He's not quite as unstoppable, I think, as he would have been pre-paint patch. They toned the paint down a little bit to where mashing is not as OP as it was. But with that being said, Yao is still easily the best center in the game. He has pro dribble style, which is stupid. They gave him kind of sort of playmaking ability, which is ridiculous, but he's also got insane interior badges on both ends of the court. Half interceptor on a 7'5" guy, 7'6" guy. He can shoot the ball very solidly. Playmaking badges wise is already okay. Can't get clamp breaker, but just add quick first step to him. Add a couple shooting badges if you'd like to him, and then add a fast twitch, and he's really complete, even with no clamps. The defensive stats are stupid. He's got 80 lateral quickness, 80 speed and excel, which on a 7'6" player is just unbelievably bonkers, and his release is good as well. A ton to like about this card. He's just so good. I mean, he's the best center in the game by a mile. Incredibly expensive, but also incredibly good. Patrick Ewing is going to go D tier for me. I don't think Ewing is good because he has a bad release, and he's slow. Bad release. Those are kind of the flaws with these types, with the guys that are in D tier. They're not horrific cards, but they're slow and they have bad release. That's a commonality with all three of these guys so far. I think Ewing has like 60-something speed, and his release is one of the uglier releases that I've used this year. When I did Ewing gameplay, I was shocked by how bad his release was, to be completely honest. So, yeah, D tier for both of those, for Ewing to join those guys. I think Ralph legitimately goes A tier. I really do, because he's 7'4", and his height has become even more valuable with bigger centers like the guys we have in the top couple tiers being more prevalent. But Ralph, he's 7'4", and he can get every badge updated as well, which is a big deal. So you can add whatever badges to him you'd like. Don't ignore 2KDB, because 2KDB is wrong about this one. You can add limitless takeoff to him. You can add fast twitch. You can add limitless range, bailout, break starter, quick first step, defensive badges like interceptor if you'd like as well. And while his defensive stats aren't insane and he is slow, at 7'4", he's not crazy slow. He can shoot wide open. I did gameplay with him, and you can hit his release. I mean, his size is very valuable to stop Yao, and I think that's the most powerful part about it, is that he's going to be an elite interior defender, rebounder, masher, all those things, and then he's going to be able to compete against Yao better than any other center on this list because of his size and his player build. So for me, he's still a A-tier guy. Roy Hibbert is a little bit lower down. He is 7'2", so he's still got great size, but he is also kind of slow. 67 speed and a 7'2" player ain't bad, though. 72 shot 3 is makeable, but this Lopez base is something that I still don't like. He doesn't quite have the size of a Ralph Sampson. He does need badges like bailout, quick first step, break starter, and catch and shoot added as well. Hoff anchor and brick wall are nice. He's a great interior defender, solid masher as well. He's not a bad card by any means, just not an elite card. I think he doesn't quite have the size of the KP or Ralph to put him up a tier, and he's not the shooter of KP either, which helps KP out a lot. So Roy Hibbert is fine, but he's just not great. I'm going to put Serge Ibaka in the B tier next to these two guys. Another guy who is a very athletic guy who can defend on the interior. All three of these cards are very similar. Ibaka's release, I would say, is closer to Mikan's release than it is to Dwight's, but Dwight's a slightly better athlete and slightly better defender. But Ibaka still, Hofflemless takeoff, posterizer, anchor, pogo, stick post, lockdown, bunch of good gold defensive badges. These three cards are on a very, very similar level at the center position. Similar size, all can shoot. All can pretty much defend at a pretty high level as well. They all have Hoff anchor. Like, I think these are all really good cards, and I think they're B tier guys for me. I'm putting Shaq C tier. I apologize. I know people love Shaq. I don't. He's got a 26 3 ball, can't shoot a mid range, or release is terrible. That's all it takes. He's maybe the most dominant interior center not named Yao in the game, but you can't shoot the ball at all, and that matters a ton for me personally. So he's going C tier, and then we're going to throw Tim Duncan up in the S tier. He's a little bit less. He has a little bit less size, closer to like Mike and type Dwight size than a KP or Ralph. But what he does give you is insane defensive stats and badges, 20 Hoffs, the ability to upgrade every badge, amazing all-around stats. He is a top card in my team still. He has incredibly good defensive animations as well against taller players, and I think he's definitely an S tier guy. And then Wang as well is arguably, I think, an S tier guy as well. I know he only has 76 speed and excel, but he is 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan. He's got a massive player build. 93 shot 3 with the ability to shoot from very deep, gold limitless range. Defensive badges are solid. Does need bailout, break starter, quick first step added. But what he has is a money release, really money release. So you have a shooter at the center position who has a great release, has the ability to stretch the floor, and has a really good player build that makes him significantly, definitely look taller than 7 foot. So he's a capable defender. He is really, really good. He gets a lot of good paint stop animations as well. People love this card, and I see why. Wang is an amazing option in my team. So this is going to be my final tier list for the best centers in my team right now. Let me know what you think of my tier list down in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.